Hello, everyone, and welcome to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. Our show focuses on workplace and workforce trends, and we also try to find companies who are doing things well, kind of non-traditional organizations that have found a niche and are exploiting that niche and building a business in that niche, and that's exactly what we'll be looking at today. It's a home-cooked company here right out of Mobile that is now reaching coast to coast, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them in the upcoming moments, as well as we'll get into it in the next segment. But to begin this conversation, to begin this episode, we're announcing a big change, a very big and excited change. I want to welcome Coastal Alabama Community College to the list of sponsors for the show. They came on board and are all in. And as I've come to learn more and more about Coastal Alabama Community College, it's a perfect fit. The education sources, the different degrees and designations and programs that they offer their students are perfect for people in the business world trying to enhance their business, grow a business, begin a business as an entrepreneur. We're delighted to have Coastal Alabama Community College as a supporter of the show. We welcome them with open arms. So let's get into the show, into the content. Back in the day, and you hear a lot of this from people about my age now, back in the day, you went off to college. And if you went off to college, you got the leftovers from around the house. And it being furniture is what I'm talking about, or bedspreads, or towels, whatever it may be. You got the leftovers from around the house, none of the valuable stuff, none of the stuff that if it went missing or came home dirty or ruined or never came home, you would get too much in trouble. And that was certainly my case and my roommate's case as a freshman in college, as well as every apartment I had during my college years and frankly for many years after that. I remember my bed was placed on 9 milk crates, 3 milk crates in 3 rows, and the bed sat on those milk crates. I could push stuff underneath the bed to hide it, to get it out of the way. And when it was time to move, I simply pulled the bed up and then turned the milk crates over and filled them with my junk and threw those milk crates, because they stacked very nicely, in the back seat of the car and drove on to wherever the next dorm, or for my case, wherever the next apartment was, and reversed the process, brought everything in. It was heavy. The bed was heavy. And there was very little design interest at all in my dorm room or any of my apartments. It was just essentially survival of the fittest. Well, things have changed. Not as much for the males, perhaps, but certainly for the females. It's, as we're recording this today, there's a lot of pictures being posted on social media by people who are moving their children into college, and a lot of emotional parents, mostly. The kids just look relieved that they're finally getting those parents to go home. But the parents are emotional. The pictures the parents are posting of their daughters' dorm rooms are remarkable. There's not a milk crate to be found anywhere in that dorm room. In fact, there are headboards, there are monogrammed pillows, there are bed skirts, there are color schemes, there are window treatments, there are accessories around the room. All I'm seeing, this is all the stuff I'm seeing on Facebook, I'm seeing on Instagram from my friends. And I did some asking about it, and I've learned about a company called Not Just Dorms. They are designers of dorm room furniture, and I want to say equipment, but that's certainly not the right word. Dorm room furniture, dorm room furnishings, pillows and bed skirts and all the things that I've just mentioned. And it's a big, for real business. I had no idea. And there's one located right here in Mobile, Alabama. We'll meet them when we come back. You're listening to What's Working, presented by Coastal Alabama Community College. I'm Cam Marston.
I'm Michael Coward. My team and I will work with your corporate team to help you with your executive employee benefit plans. We offer executive retirement plans that allow you to favor your leadership team, as well as 401k plans for your entire company. We've served the Mobile market for over 20 years. Call us at 251-342-0446 or find us online at cowardassociates.com. That's COWART associates.com.
Securities offered through Pro Equities, member FINRA, SIPC. Hey, this is Cam Marston. If sales in your business comes from prospecting to create leads that lead to sales, I want to tell you about Sales Up Coach, a cloud-based system created for the next generation of sales professional. There's a big difference between being busy and being effective. And Sales Up Coach helps salespeople who rely on prospecting uncover which of their activities produce the greatest results. Over time, Sales Up Coach's machine learning hones salespeople's schedule to focus only on activities that generate the most bang for the buck. Your sales team interacts with Sales Up Coach on their smartphone, and sales managers can instantly generate reports to see who is on goal and who may need additional support. Go online and take a look at this new and very powerful sales tool. Go to salesupcoach.com/Cam Marston. Watch your sales team's productivity change.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please pull forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are, so they can help life go right.
Call me, State Farm agent Allison Horner, in Mobile at 666-1616.
We're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. I'm here with Shawn Cushing and Annie Henseler, owners of Not Just Dorms, a organization, a company that provides what appears to me from my time on your website, high-end, very professionally done, high-design content for dorm rooms. Headboards, blankets, something that I saw today for the first time, which is called a poof for dorm rooms. Tell me about this business. How was it begun? Shawn, I think you began the business in 2002. Tell me the story of how this whole business came about.
Yes, well, it wasn't 2002, it was 2012.
Oh.
And it was the product of my experience with my oldest daughter going to the University of Alabama. I didn't go off to school and never lived in dorms, and the experience I saw with my girlfriends was very simple. When she was going off, my friend sat me down and explained to me what I was going to have to do to get her dorm ready, which was unbelievable. I was like, that is ridiculous. I would never do this. No, it's too much. Anyway, fast forward, yes, I did. And I partnered with Ashton's roommate, who was a very fine decorator, who put together a lovely room. And it was quite expensive and all custom and very heavy. And I just thought it was too much money and effort for us to be making for this transition in life. So I looked around, the other rooms. We were at Tutwiler, looked around the other, products that were out there. So you had everything from a mom who stapled pillows to a, cork board, to, people who brought in their full-time decorators. So there was a big, wide open space there, and really only one company out there that was putting a product out that I liked, but I thought could be made better. So I went home and just said, I have a business, a furniture rental business. And so I have, labor on staff that could help me kind of design things and test things. So after about 6 months, I came up with a lightweight product. I found after trying, plyboard and pegboards and everything else to get it lightweight so you could pick it up and move. So that is how it started.
And it has been going now. How do you sell it? How do you sell the product? How do you make sure people are aware of what you can do for their dorm rooms? Is there a market out there for this that I'm unaware of? My oldest child's only 16. This is not on our radar just yet, but it must be a big word of mouth would be my thought.
Word of mouth is huge. With us being an online, e-commerce business, of course, tons of our sales are sight unseen. So, we ship things all over the country. We get orders from, anywhere from Birmingham to Los Angeles. So, with that, we do have an audience that we know is super, influenced by social media, obviously. So, with our Instagram and our Facebook and of course, our website, getting their attention that way with, rooms that we've done, in seasons past or samples for the new seasons. We love getting their attention that way.
So the process is, and I'm guessing this is primarily a female marketplace, right? The process is that they are going off to college, and how long prior to going on to campus, to move-in day, do they need to place their order so that they have the materials that they need on site?
I would say that question kind of depends on at what point in the summer they are ordering. Earlier in the summer is always best. That's when the turnaround is going to be the quickest, because like you were saying, everything is, custom. So everything does go into production. The earlier in the summer they order, the faster they're going to get it. If they order, mid-July when it's kind of crazy, turnaround time can be, anywhere from a week and a half to 2.5 weeks, but nothing longer than about 2.5 weeks.
So there is one of the questions that I had, is there a busy season? It sounds like there is a busy season, and that being summer.
It is totally a seasonal business, just like Christmas. So when people start to settle down after they've made their decisions about school, where they're going, they kind of get into their senior year, usually after the spring break is when we really start to see people, decide who they're going to live with, where they're going to live, what school they're going to, who they're, it depends on their roommate. One of the biggest, I think, what's the word, Annie, that I want to use? One of the biggest perks that comes with this type of product is that your daughter's going off to school. She has a stranger, usually for a roommate. Everyone is encouraged to branch out. Don't go live with your best friend.
Right.
Find someone else. So it's a bonding experience. You're designing your room together. What do you like? This is what I like. What do you have? Mm-hmm. What should we build around? So it kind of teaches you, this next step in living with someone that you've never met, when you're usually coming from an environment when people have known one another since kindergarten.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's it's a great bonding experience. It's a great way for the parents to get to know one another, and a great way to see how the girls are different and what they're going to be faced with moving forward, living together for the next year.
You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. I'm with Shawn Cushing and Annie Henseler, owners of Not Just Dorms. It's about the custom high-end dorm room design. So let's say I'm walking down the hallway of Tutwiler at the University of Alabama. How many of these dorm rooms have what I'm calling a customized room? Is this now the dominant proportion of female college student living on campus has something like this?
I would say about nine rooms out of 10, definitely. And I think this also has a lot to do with social media that I touched on earlier. Now it's somewhat become like a competition, like who has the prettiest dorm room. And of course, everyone wants their room to be pretty and homey and cozy. And it's not so much, how much money can you spend? It's just how pretty and homey and cozy can you make it?
Now, you've got to hear these stories of back in the day, back when I went to school, I had a matchbook and I slept in that. And my bed was literally held up on milk crates, which I then turned over and packed stuff in when I changed locations. Is there not a part of this college experience, quote unquote, that should have, this is the old curmudgeon talking here, sacrifice? And just going to college itself is a luxury and you don't need a poof for your college dorm room. What's your reply to that?
Well, I think I initially had that thought, and my pushback was, oh, please, how difficult can this be with my first? And there I stood doing it all, because it's just the way it is now. Even if you don't have money to do custom work, even, smaller stores like Target and Walmart are offering, pretty tasteful things, for anyone living temporarily anywhere. So I think it's something I never dreamed I would be involved in or encourage. But it feels so nice to have them in a beautiful space rather than a sterile environment. Most of our children have overachieved in high school, have done everything we've asked of them, have not given us any problems. And I think spending some money on their college dorm room to make them more comfortable and more positive and a little more confident is not that big of a deal.
So quickly, we've got about a minute till break. You set this, the social media, and your Instagram page has over 4,000 followers. Social media is where I first learned of this, as my friends' oldest children are now moving off to college, and I'm beginning to see these photos, and they caught me off guard, and things have changed, and we hear all that type of stuff. And you leave, as a parent, you leave, and that room looks perfect. How long does it stay perfect?
I think it gets perfect when you come to visit.
Yes, that was my question. That's what I suspected.
That part of life does not change. No, I will not say anyone is vacuuming or dusting while they're staying there, but it certainly does look nice. And our goal is for them to be able to take these products all the way through college.
And do they? Do they move this material to an apartment or to another dorm room?
Depending on where you go. My girls, for instance, left their freshman dorm room and moved to their sorority house. So they could bring a twin, makeup with them. So that worked really well for us.
Yeah.
Others, move in and out of, move from a dorm room 2 years and then go back their senior years to another twin type room environment. We developed a product where you could add on to your twin headboard 2 sides to make it a queen.
Oh, nice.
So you could physically take it all the way through the 4 years if you so chose.
You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. I'm with Shawn Cushing, and I'm with Annie Henseler with Not Just Dorms. What you're hearing is a story of entrepreneurship. What you're hearing is a story of people who saw a market niche and created a business to fill that market niche. And if this type of thing, running and owning a business, is of interest to you, then I want to talk to you about the Coastal Alabama Community College Small Business and Entrepreneurship Program. It introduces the principles of management and supervision, accounting, and small business development skills. I'm certain you learn how to read a P&L. It's designed to help prepare individuals for management of small businesses. It's a 4-semester program for students to go directly into the labor market upon completion. If you want to know more, visit the website at coastalalabama.edu for more information or stop by any one of the Coastal Alabama campuses to learn more. You're listening to What's Working. We'll be right back.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please pull forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are, so they can help life go right.
Call me, State Farm agent Allison Horner, in Mobile at 666-1616.
This is Coastal Alabama Community College, where education is key and where there is opportunity in every classroom. We serve 9 counties with one common goal. Here, we come together to create a brighter future. Together, we inspire. Together, we learn. Together, we succeed. This is Coastal Alabama Community College. All together.
Hi there, I'm Josh Knoll with Gulf Coast Financial Advisors. As your business grows and you accumulate wealth, planning to protect your assets becomes more and more important. I work with individuals and business owners throughout Baldwin County to help them protect their prosperity. Call me today at 251-327-2124 or find us at gulfcoastfa.com.
Securities offered through Pro Equities, member FINRA, SIPC. We're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. With me is Shawn Cushing and Annie Henseler with Not Just Dorms. You know, the process of moving in, when I moved into my dorm room, and I hesitate to even use these stories because it was back in the Stone Age. We read books by candlelight and things like that. That was even before typed print. We used slates, and this guy named Aristotle taught me. But back in the day, it was hard and heavy work moving into the dorms. And I can't imagine a parent going in and buying all these materials from you thinking, oh my Lord, I'm going to have to move all this stuff in. My back's going to break. Tell me about the construction of this and how much consideration is given to the materials and the fact that someone's got to carry this oftentimes up several flights of stairs.
Well, that was, again, another catalyst as to why I felt it was so important to develop this product in this company. When you move in, generally it's the parents. So you've got 2 cars full of stuff. You've got, short-term elevator turnarounds, and you have no one to physically pick up anything but yourself. People will help you unload, but they're not going upstairs with you. So it generally falls on your husband to do the heavy lifting, and that does not make for a very pleasant day sometimes.
Yes.
They're like, why did you do this? This is ridiculous. The whole, drama unfolds. And secondly, putting everything together in a temporary environment is very hard, and this is particularly unique. You're dealing with higher beds. You're dealing with different kinds of walls. You're dealing with, sometimes cinder block. Other people now, have issues where they've gone in and put sheetrock in. So now it's all damage-free. So everything we created had to be lightweight, damage-free, movable, and washable.
And washable.
So you can't put the headboard, obviously, in the washing machine, but you can wipe it down. The fabrics that you buy, there's so much effort that's involved with creating a product that's useful. They're in college. It's going to get dirty. They're not going to they're not going to clean it. It has to be something that you can manage, that is not so fine that you can't live on it daily.
So none of this is made out of walnut, huge, heavy walnut. This is all, and how did you find these materials? If you said at the beginning, I've got to make it not lightweight, I've got to make it portable and washable, you then become an expert of materials. And how did that happen?
We, trial by fire. I tried everything. I tried plywood, I tried corkboard, I tried pegboard, I tried foam alone. I tried, just about every plastic. Tried just about every product, but it had to be lightweight, but it also couldn't have any bend. So, plywood's going to warp. There's so many issues. So I ultimately found a product, and it is a laminate made to put underneath flooring in construction.
Really? So that's the headboard. That's the backing to a headboard. Mm-hmm. And is the laminate provider aware that you're using this product in a completely different fashion than it was intended?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. How many, is this a regional phenomenon? Am I going to find this mostly in the Southeast, or if I'm going to go to the University of Idaho, am I going to see this going on there? You said you ship all the way to LA. Is it Southerners buying it for their LA college, or what?
Most, I would say probably 75% of our sales are for, the bigger Southern schools. But like I said, we do, a lot of times when we're shipping to those northern schools or those schools that are way out west, we ship straight to the schools. So we don't necessarily know whether, that customer was from Atlanta or whether that customer was from, New Jersey. But I will say we have definitely, as far as big cities go, and this has, this isn't necessarily dorm related, but bigger cities have, of course, have smaller living situations to where there's, a lot of people living in a very small space. So a lot of times they do just have twin beds. So we will, these people want a custom look, don't necessarily want to spend a lot of money. And of course they're limited on space. So, our products are really good in that sense too.
Do you have a sales force, or is it just you and your website? Do you have people, representatives on different campuses to say, here, come take a look at these materials? Or do you have showings in hometowns where people can come take a look and build their dorm room as a visit to XYZ, home who's showing materials or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the spring months, starting in March and going through the beginning of the summer when we really start, there's not much time to leave. We do travel all over, doing, just like you said, home shows at colleges, Just like you said, where people can come in. We have all of our samples. We have every single fabric that we offer, which is a lot. And people can come in and essentially build their dorm bed.
How much of this is the parent who really is struggling with saying goodbye to a child, knowing that if everything goes as planned, that child will only come home to visit from now on? That's the model. How much of this is a parent trying to ease themselves into this transition by giving I guess it's a gift to their child like this?
I feel like, having done it twice now, I feel like it's more of a bonding thing and yet another step. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you like? They've been living with what I want and what I liked, for their entire life. And now it's time for them to express themselves on a different level. Again, also helping them, form another relationship with someone else. And I think you always feel happy when you leave your child in a clean, fresh environment, even if it's camp. You want their things to be clean and fresh, and you want to leave. You don't want them in a dingy. If you got there and the camp room was dirty, you would be upset. And if you left them in a shabby environment, you would not be happy about that either. So it's just kind of an extension of that, I think. But no, I do not feel like it's any way trying to woo them or control them in any way. I think it's really, yet again, another step at their own individualities.
One of the, I guess, a transition, and I've not been through this chapter yet. You've been through with your 2 children, Shawn. This is upcoming to me. But it's a in-your-face transition point of life continues on. My children are growing. They're leaving the nest. And it can be, and I've seen this with my friends, emotional. And it should be a moment of joy, it would seem, as you've put your child into this new environment and he or she has done well so that they can thrive in this new environment. And this is the materials that you provide are a gift or a transition part to that. But these moments of high joy, these moments that are supposed to be celebratory moments, can often be moments of crisis, of identity, of a realization that something has changed. And I give you an example. One of the things that I see that I enjoy the most, and this is probably not good for me, is at Disney World, which should be a moment of joy for the family, there can be some knockdown, drag-out family fights in the middle of Disney World. The intensity of the moment overtakes the people experiencing the moment, and it becomes the wrong emotion. Do you ever see things like that with your customers as they're trying to prepare for this, and it becomes, rather than a moment of joy and celebration, this decision-making process becomes a little bit antagonistic between 2 of them?
Well, I'll speak for the parents, and I'll let Annie speak for the children, since she knows more about that than me. Yes, the whole day is emotional. It's a great big step. It's the first time, they've lived away from us. I am a realist. I have one of 5 to 6 children, so, there wasn't a lot of coddling in my life. So I was like, I've done my job. They're ready to go. They're happy. They have friends. They're not afraid. I am one who is always brave until I get to the threshold, and then I fall apart a little bit. So there's a little bit of everything that's going on that day, depending on, your family. But I don't know anyone who escapes it without some sort of emotion. A little bit of tears, a little bit of laughter, a lot going on, which is another reason why this company is so important, to make this less stressful. Everything we make is made to make it easy.
Tell me more about that. That's interesting. Tell me more about that. And then, Annie, I want to hear your take on the same question.
Yes, well, the husbands, like I said before, are generally doing the heavy lifting. It's tiring. You've packed up, you've moved, you've given thought to, depending on your child, there may be rush, there may be, some last minute changes, academically. They may have broken up with their boyfriend or girlfriend. And then, of course, there's, some parents are more controlling than others and refuse to let go, and it's time.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've all done our job correctly and they're ready. So other than that, the move in itself is strenuous. There's clothes, there's books, there's computers, there's shoes, socks, toiletries, there's bedding. There's so many things. And when you put on top of that heavy things that people are trying to put together, people are trying to physically, put an IKEA piece together.
Right.
Don't do that. I mean,
Right.
it's just too much. You can't even do it if you had a whole month. So it's just crazy. So everything is made to slip on. The bed skirts are, 34 inches long. Well, some people try to tape them on. Some people try to do things. We created a way to do it where you use the tension rod and you slide it on and you slip it behind the posts.
Yeah.
You move on to the next thing. It takes literally 3 seconds. So everything was just made to take the pressure off of this day, over the physical labor involved in moving in.
Annie, what do you take? What is your thoughts on the emotion and the pressure of the day?
Well, I would say moving back, to earlier in the summer when they're actually come in, with their moms, with their roommates moms, and they're trying to create this, this perfect dorm room. Of course, there's going to be little spats between the mom and the daughters, but, depending on fabrics or fabric colors or, what have it. But like Shawn said, it's 9.9 times out of 10, it's a very happy experience when they're coming in and doing that. And also, like she said, a bonding experience. And there's, a million memories to be had, summer going into your freshman year and your freshman year. And this is one that I think both moms and daughters will look back on, as something that they loved doing together.
Quickly, before we go to the next break, is this a phenomenon that parents do mainly with their oldest child, particularly if it's an oldest daughter? Or do you see the second and third born daughter getting the same attention from they're still your customers? So is it an oldest child phenomenon or not?
I think it's all. They like moms that will come in with their oldest children. They see how easy it is, we are literally just a one-stop shop. So they can get everything from us, from bedding to headboards to bed skirts to rugs to chairs to storage, anything you can imagine. And they just check that box off for the summer. They're done with their dorm room. So that definitely they see how easy it is. And of course, they're going to continue coming back to us with their, children to follow.
The thing I didn't consider was the convenience, that you're really doing them a favor. It looks to me from the outside looking in like an elaborate gift. It's really a convenience and ease, and you're offering a convenience to them, which I hadn't considered. Folks, you're listening to What's Working. I'm with Shawn Cushing. I'm with Annie Henseler with Not Just Dorms. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this break, and I want to talk about budget. What would this cost? Are you kidding? Leather-covered poofs. Is there such thing as a leather poof or whatever it may be? And I want to talk about what is the most elaborate thing you've seen. You're listening to What's Working with Cam Marston, presented by Coastal Alabama Community College. We'll be right back in just 1 minute.
Think about your home. What do you see? Do you just see 2 stories, or the stories of your toddler's first steps? Now think about your car. Do you see an odometer reading, or your kids reading in the back seat? Other insurance companies just see a house. They just see a car. But a State Farm agent sees what your home and your car really mean to you. So why not give them the protection they deserve?
You can reach me, State Farm agent Allison Horner, at AllisonHorner.com.
I'm Michael Coward. My team and I will work with your corporate team to help you with your executive employee benefit plans. We offer executive retirement plans that allow you to favor your leadership team as well as 401k plans for your entire company. We've served the Mobile market for over 20 years. Call us at 251-342-0446 or find us online at cowardassociates.com. That's COWART associates.com.
Securities offered through Pro Equities, member FINRA, SIPC. we're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. Sitting here with me, Shawn Cushing with Not Just Dorms and Annie Henseler with Not Just Dorms. It's a dorm room decorating company that if you're going off to college, or more likely for my listeners, sending a child and more likely, again, a daughter off to college, and you want that dorm room to look nice and special, and you want the ease and convenience of having lightweight materials to bring in and set up, you're going to want to know about this organization. My oldest is 16. I'm still a couple of years out from this, but it's sounding more and more appealing to me. My first blush, as I said in the previous segment, was this seems elaborate. This seems extreme. Now I'm beginning to see a different picture. There's ease and there's convenience and there's simply lightweight materials that's going to be easy for me to carry and get set up into that room because you've thought about everything. Let's talk about what it's going to cost me and people like me as their children go off to school. What is the range for these, let's assume, here's what I know about design. Not much, but there's usually a key item in every room that everything else is built off of, if that's the right way to say it. What are the key items in a dorm room? What are they going to cost me? Give me a range, and then how do you build off of them?
Well, I think depending on what you want to do, you could physically build a custom dorm room with two of our key products. One is a headboard, which weighs 3.5 pounds and mounts on the wall somewhat like a picture.
So a headboard weighs 3.5 pounds.
Mm-hmm. It's got 3 inches worth of foam. It has a very lightweight laminate that you hang with. It can hang damage-free. It can be hung with Velcro directly on the wall, depending on what your limitations are in your dorm room. The second thing, and there's a headboard pillow, which looks like a headboard, but it's a pillow that you can add or do separately, both in the same price range. The other key item are the long bed skirts. Dorm room beds are lofted. That's not a bunk bed, that's a loft. So that means, you kind of have to hop up to get on it. So you have underbed storage.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So what we make are long bed skirts that physically cover up everything underneath. So you can have all your extra drawers, all of your luggage, anything you don't want to see. So it just gives you another layer of neatness and style to keep your room, just to make your room look better. Some people come to us and buy each and everything and spend thousands of dollars. Some people come to us and say, I've spent every penny I have getting this child in school. We bought this bed in a bag. It cost $79. What can I do to at least, make it look a little more custom? So then, we'll say, tell us what you're thinking about, and we'll make a good decision. Sometimes we'll add a pillow. We always encourage the bed skirts just because it just covers up the mess, underneath. And so we try to help everybody have the best experience possible because you don't want someone to feel bad about their room because someone else is nicer. And one little thing might be the thing that makes it all come together.
So the bed skirt and the pillow sound like the key items that are going to define the room, or it's going to be the first impression. If I step into a dorm room, the first things I'm going to notice are the bed skirts and the pillow because they're quote unquote tied together in some way or another. Is that correct?
Probably the bed skirt and the headboard.
And the headboard, more so. The
headboard pillow.
The headboard pillow, that's what you said.
It's shaped like a headboard, but it's a giant pillow.
Yeah. So those are the things that are going to make the first impression. Tell me about accessories that you could fill up with. That's got to be, based on my experience in other businesses, accessories are generally very profitable. If I want to add things to it, whatever it may be, a vacation, a meal, adding things generally are profitable items. Tell me about the accessories you offer and what someone would do with them or why they'd want them.
I would say filling in with, of course, throw pillows is a personal preference. Some people can't stand a ton of throw pillows that you're just putting on the ground and then putting back up on your bed. My husband being one of them, can't stand them. But there are those people that come in and want to have throw pillows all the way down to the end of the bed. So I would think things like that are some of the biggest.
Pillows, blankets, artwork, lamps, side tables,
rugs.
You have to have bathroom caddies. There's just it's a very unique, defined way of living. Things that you simply have to have. We have the list. We have found sometimes when they're done with us, maybe they're like, I'm going to go to a big box and check off everything because we're not going to have towels. We've tried to build packages where you can do it all. And I think by the time they're done getting all their custom work finished, they kind of say, I got to get to Target because I'm going to get the water. I'm going to get the, some other things. And they start to really cut corners there, where you can really, get a good price point.
Yeah. Do you have customers that really go to an ultra high-end range and want things that you don't offer, more custom than what your custom services offer right now? Have you had people come in and say, listen, I'm going to hire you not just for the products that you have at Not Just Dorms, but I need you to design this room something special?
Really, because we sell across the country, we really physically can't go to every school and figure it out. And it is unique. Someone needs to be on site that knows precisely what you're dealing with. Otherwise, you build all these products that don't necessarily work with that particular school. We can make a good guess at it. We put it all on them.
Yeah.
And if they want to work with their decorator and bring in an antique chest, and they do.
Yeah.
They do that. We do not. We do not take the next step.
So I read that there are, prior to getting together with you all today, 20 million people entering college right now. Fall of 2019, 20 million students heading off to college. And all you want is 10% of that market, right? Just 2 million people, that would be plenty?
That'd be plenty.
That'd be plenty. What other, have you considered other markets for what you offer? You offer a convenience, weight limited, lightweight stuff to decorate a preset environment. What other markets are there that you've looked at or considering saying, we could take this Not Just Dorms concept and start decorating barracks at the Army? Of course, they'd never let you do that, but barracks at the Army. We could take this and do this with where? Have you considered where this may go?
We have. We've kind of waded into it. We really haven't jumped in just yet. It's a great product for toddlers.
Okay.
For instance, since you still haven't made that jump, I'm sure you can remember when your children were young and you're moving them from the baby bed into a toddler's bed. It's going to be lower. It's going to have a rail. You're not going to want to commit to a bed or any type of furniture because you're going to go up and down until they're confident and you're not getting up all night. These headboards are being used in rooms like that can be moved up and down, as the child grows. You can use the bed skirt panels on a baby bed, just decorative. Of course, we offer window treatments. We've seen it kind of go to the tweens who are designing their own rooms. You want to come in and pick out their own fabrics. We do offer different sizes. We have not been able to make a solid queen headboard lightweight enough without partitioning it. We do offer non-custom products. That filter in that you can order king, queen, twin. We've done people's beach houses. We've done people's children's rooms and guest rooms at home.
Also, boarding schools have been a big thing that we have focused on in the past couple of years. We've gotten tons of moms, of course, that are sending their kids off to boarding school. Same thing. They want their kids home away from home to be, look really nice especially while they're not with them.
Yeah. I can see the boarding school market. I can see the toddler market. I hadn't considered that. Let me catch us up. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. We're talking about the trend or the phenomenon, let's say, of right now what we're talking about is customized dorm room design. Very growing market. 20 million kids going off to school this year. It would seem to be a grand opportunity there. Have you ever looked into products for men? I mean, is there any interest at all in what would it take to get a knuckle dragging mouth breather guy interested in what you guys can do for them?
It's not so much the guys that come in and are wanting to pick out fabrics and build their dorm room, but definitely the guys' mothers. And it goes the same way. They want to leave their son at school in a nice, clean, neat room. Not to say it's not going to, look like a tornado went through it a week later. But yes, absolutely. And that all kind of goes along with the fact that we do have hundreds of different fabric options, and they're not all pink and yellow and green.
Right.
We have navies and blacks and neutral colors that all guys love. And
do guys order headboards? Do guys order headboard pillows?
Headboard pillows are our biggest seller for guys.
Yeah,
definitely. Like Shawn was explaining, they look just like a headboard, but really it's just a big pillow that you put on back of your bed that you lean up against, and they can take it into the den and lean up against it
Right.
and play, video games, or they can keep it on their bed. So it's a great product for guys for sure.
Could you guess the percentage of your customers that are male consumers of your products? Is it 10%? Is it 15%?
I'd say 15 probably.
Yeah.
And again, it's not the guys coming in and ordering things; it's the parents.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say probably 15.
Yeah, I imagine that this is perhaps a stereotype, but the females will keep that room looking much more nice. The males, at least when I was a student, our rule was if it's above knee high, it's clean. If it's below knee high, it's dirty. Make sure you throw your dirty clothes straight to the floor so you don't wear them twice. And I would suspect that once the parents are out of eye shot, a lot of that stuff starts resurrecting itself again, even in today's kids. Is that about the case?
I would say so, yeah.
Well, but also we did kind of keep this in mind. We know what we know what they're like at this age. The very few of them, their priority is keeping their room together.
Correct.
Once again, everything is meant to be useful, not necessarily something they have to fool with.
Yeah.
Headboard pillow is comfortable. They're going to want to lean against it while they study or while they watch, something on their laptop. Boys don't want bed skirts, so we don't bother. We offer it, we show it. They don't care what their bedding looks like, so we keep it simple. We've even offered a lightweight kind of lazy boy recliner that can be drop shipped directly to school. They could take from their room to their common area. That we hoped would catch fire. It hasn't yet, but maybe it will.
So there's to say a lightweight lazy boy recliner is almost a conflict of terminology to a guy who has moved lazy boy recliners before. So you found one that is lightweight. Did you have input into the design of this thing?
We did not, and it's pretty great. It's like a beanbag, but it has a back to it.
Yeah.
And it's a little more substantial than just a beanbag. It's kind of hard to explain, but
And then one is the leather one that's just, again, lightweight, and it doesn't physically, kick out like a lazy boy. It has an ottoman, but it doesn't lean back.
Mm-hmm.
How many dorm rooms will you take orders for the fall of 2019? How many orders did you get this year?
Gosh, Annie.
we're just now starting to slow down, so we haven't even gotten to the point yet to kind of go back through and look at everything.
What would your guess be?
Oh gosh,
500 or 600.
500 or 600? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And is it climbing every year? I would suspect it is, based on the number of kids going to school and the popularity of what you're offering.
It does. It's growing. It has such great potential. I run other family companies, so can't be as involved as I would like to be. And Annie's like a one-woman, road show.
Yeah.
She cooks the deal. She does the show. She cleans up. She moves on. There's a lot going on. And we do have a partner out in Texas now that we're working with who sells for us there. The key would be to grow this is because the living room is the best pitch. That is Annie's strength. She is the best living room girl in the world. She gets in front of them. They're going to buy it. So it does take, direct sales in addition to the e-commerce, even though e-commerce still outsells one-on-one contact 10 to 1.
E-commerce is, but they got the in-house shows are the ones that are the most convincing, huh?
Well, that is, again, that's your word of mouth. But that's where, when they put their hands on it, if we can get in front of you, you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
It sells itself.
Yeah.
I think that's the case, and I think I can see my future here very clearly. This is Cam Marston. I'm with Shawn Cushing and Annie Henseler with Not Just Dorms, a market of products and services that I didn't even know exist. That's the nature of this show. I want to thank you so much for your time, both of you. It's been really fun.
Thanks for having us.
Folks, you can find more about Not Just Dorms by doing what? Tell everybody how we can find you.
Visiting the website, it's www.notjustdorms.com.
Perfect. Thank you both very much. If I were giving advice to somebody that can't quite figure out what their future holds or what they want to do, they know they need to go to school, but what should it be? I would tell them to pursue a general education degree right now. That general education degree is going to introduce them to the subject matters. They're going to stir them up a little bit. They're going to get them excited about learning. And Coastal Alabama Community College offers a general education degree. It's designed for students who want to transfer to a 4-year university to complete their bachelor's degree. It offers courses in history, courses in math, courses in English with small classes, and lots of attention from the instructors, and it's offered on all campuses across the Coastal Alabama Community College footprint, and some of the classes are even offered online. To learn more, visit coastalalabama.edu or check out their catalog online at coastalalabama.edu, or simply stop by any of the Coastal Alabama campuses to learn more.
Hi, I'm Jay Stubbs with First Protective. People approaching retirement are concerned about outliving their income and being a burden on their children. They fear chronic illness, and they want to leave a legacy. If you're a life insurance producer or in the traditional investment business and this describes your clients, we can help. Call me, Jay Stubbs, 251-604-7024, or find me online at firstprotective.com.
Coastal Alabama Community College is 3 amazing colleges combined into one incredible institution. And that means we're all together. For more sports, 15 more locations, more friends, more one-on-one time with instructors, way more activities, more courses, a lot more courses, and more success for all of us. Pretty much more of everything. Coastal Alabama Community College is where everyone is. All together! Coastal Alabama Community College. Register today.
I want to thank Shawn Cushing and Annie Henseler for their time with me today. I had no idea not just dorms was as big, as thorough, as I think the feature that stood out to me the most is the convenience, the ease, and the lack of weight. And I'm talking about pounds, how lightweight this stuff is, how easily transferable it is for someone like me to be able to carry into a child's room and easily set up. You can see the engineering and the thought that went into these types of things. These dorm room designs and these dorm room products is much more elaborate than I was aware of, which is frankly the reason I love asking the questions that I ask. I learn that there's so much more behind the scenes than I initially thought, and that's fun for me. That's the discovery part that I enjoy so much. This is the next generation of student folk. You can think about them whatever you wish, but this is the world that they're living in. And it was interesting. I saw an article not long ago, and in fact, we blogged about it on the website, of new uses of PowerPoint. Now, those of you in corporate America, I'm certain, are very familiar with PowerPoint. There's death by PowerPoint. There's every speaker seems to use their a PowerPoint to keep their notes. And, I should be careful of what I talk about because I use it too. But it turns out, as I saw in this article, that the next generation is not only using PowerPoint in their workplace, they're creating PowerPoints to sell their peers on dating their friend. In other words, you go to the bar, you meet somebody, or you are approached by somebody, and that individual pulls out their phone, and on their phone is a PowerPoint presentation saying, you don't know me, but let me introduce you to my friend on this PowerPoint that I've developed on my phone. This is her name, or this is his name, and these are the things that they like. They're moving through a PowerPoint display in a social environment, not for the purposes of corporate messaging or whatever it may be, but kind of a dating app that they create and go out and hit the streets with in the evening to try to introduce one another. It's a different world. It's a different world out there. I frankly don't know how I would do in that world, and I'm frankly thankful that it's not relevant to me anymore. So I want to finish up here. It's been a good show. I want to thank Shawn Cushing again and Annie Henseler. I want to thank Kristen Ogden for organizing all this. She had to herd some cats to get this one together. And as importantly as everything else, I want to thank John Thompson at Ion Digital for producing the show. We'll have another show for you next week, everybody. Have a good week.